See, I'm learning English. I didn't know that before I got here.
So when is the actually?
There are bags of tamarind that the students are welcome to take. One of the monks in our class, his dad brought them in. His brother brought them in. So you're welcome to take them home.
Okay. Where are they?
They're right at the entrance, big sacks. So you can take some.
On your way out, yeah.
Yeah.
Or we're on break, you can go get them now if you want.
Yeah, it's up to them. But they're a gift from brother, so you're welcome to take some.
Okay. What is tamarind? Is that a spice?
Could you see it? What is in the title? Savory.
What? Don't you know? You don't know?
One was stuck in my head. When you say you think too much, don't use too much time, and you say something that started to
Think too much. Orange? I don't.
started to
Think too much. I can't remember. I don't know.
It's me talk too much or something like that. Talk too much or say silly things all the time. You know that question?
Not off the top of my head. You know what that means? I have to think about it. But it means what again?
It means use too much time.
Use too much time. Was that one of the words we were using here? No.
Yes, we talk about like the right.
Let me see. See if I can remember. Cracking down, enforcing, hanging up.
Use too much time.
Use too much time for small things. Use too much time.
Started to
I don't remember. Okay. Okay, where were we? Okay, so building vocabulary, right? And this is getting to your question. During your day, during your morning, okay, you may not know the English word for everything that you do or everything that you see, okay? Just like me, I did not know the word for walking and treadmill, okay? So, during the day, okay, if you're out and you're thinking, write the word down. Write the word down that you don't know. And later in the day or the next day, whenever you have time, look it up in the dictionary, okay? And, you know, you'll have maybe a notepad, right, full of new words that you'll use to build your vocabulary. If you don't think English when you leave here, the only time you're going to build your vocabulary is when you're in the classroom, right? Okay? So, as we're out doing things, that's a great opportunity to learn new words. And you won't know many things, right? There's going to be many things you don't know. Just keep it simple and work slow, right? Okay. I could fill a dictionary of all the words I don't know, but I don't have to know every word. I just want to build it slow so that I remember. Okay. After you've written it down and you looked it up in the dictionary, try and use the word in a sentence, okay? And keep the sentence very easy. Keep it very basic with things you already know, okay? Okay. So does everybody agree with what I'm saying? You agree? No one's saying anything. Does everybody agree?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, what do we want to do next here? Okay. Yesterday, grammar. Okay, we're going to move on to grammar a little bit. Okay. And we had a question when to include be in a sentence. Okay. And I spent time on this last night trying to look for a rule to help us make it simple. Okay. And what I found was, okay, so using the word be, okay, it's going to always be future tense. Okay. So that's one trick that we could use. It's going to be used in a future tense. So if you're talking about a past tense, you know you're not going to use be. Okay. There's another word, been, right? But we're just focusing on the word be. Okay. So it indicates an action in the future relative to the person who is speaking, okay, or the writer. So the future tense employs the helping verb will or shall. Okay. So when we use the word be, okay, we're going to also be using the word will or shall, okay, with the base form, okay. So I will be teaching class today, okay. You will be listening to me today, okay. The auxiliary will, and this is where it gets into a little bit of grammar that I still have to work on, okay? Auxiliary, okay? Can somebody explain to me auxiliary? Auxiliary, an auxiliary verb, is that? It's a grammatical term,
Yes.
auxiliary.
Adjective.
Okay. Objective?
Adjective.
Adjective?
Yes.
Okay. Is it, so, auxiliary adjective. Okay. Can be combined with be in a progressive form of the main verb to create a sense of the future that does not harbor or hint insistence. Okay, so insistence is again, it's I insist that you do something. I command you to do something. Okay, insist. I'm commanding you to do your homework. Okay, I insist that you do your homework. I will enforce tomorrow that you did your homework. Okay? That could be a pretty harsh way to say something. Okay? And maybe there's a more polite way of me saying it. Okay? And what I found is this example. Okay? When will you arrive? Okay? When will you arrive? Okay? The sentence has a sound of maybe impatience, insisting, commanding. Okay? If you were to say, when will you be arriving? When will you be arriving? The tone, okay? My tone is less commanding, less emotional. It's more polite, okay? It's simply more polite. If we were to say, when will you be arriving? Versus, when will you arrive? Now, either one is okay. I mean, you know, remember we're just trying a conversation, okay? So you can say it, when will you arrive? When will you be arriving? I know what you mean, okay? Yes. But what I learned was by asking when will you be, it's more polite. Okay? More polite. And then also, we've now put ing on the back of the word, right? Right. Right. You would not say, when will you be arrive, right? It's arriving. Okay? When will you be arriving? Okay. And again, it just sounds more polite when you're asking a question. Okay. No rule. There's not you don't have to do this. It's just another way of saying it in a different tone. Okay. Do you understand tone? T-O-N-E? Okay. Yes. Okay. And then to be. Okay. We also use to be, right? The two words in a sentence, to be. Okay. And we use to be when we want to convey a sense of planning for the future. When we to be. So we're trying to communicate a sentence that takes place in the future. Okay? Or it could even be a command. Okay? So the examples are, there is to be an investigation into the mayor's affairs. Okay? There is to be an investigation into the mayor's business affairs. Okay? So that is an example of a plan for the future. Okay? It's an example of a plan for the future. This is going to occur. Okay? The mayor is going to be investigated. The next example is actually a command, okay? It's a command. You are telling somebody, you are to be back on the base by midnight, okay? So maybe in the military, where you could leave the military base during the day. Enforcing, exactly, yes. You are to be back on the base by midnight. Okay. So using the word be in a sentence. Okay. Oh. You are to be back on the base. Okay. So that is the military base. Okay. You could also say, you are to be back at home by midnight, right? You are to be back at home by midnight. You can say that. This is just, you are to be back on base. Base is a place. Okay. That's what they call the home for military people, military base. Okay. Okay. So here are the beginning of some sentences. Okay. I will be. She will be, he will be, okay? Okay? So let's use these in sentences, okay? I'm going to stop talking now, and you are going to do the talking, okay?
You forgot it.
You forgot. I will be native speaking English the next line.
Should I write these down? Should I write these sentences down? Huh? Okay. Okay, so will you write down, you'll remember these, right? You're going to remember the beginning of these sentences, because I'm going to take it off the screen now, okay? Huh? My thumb's okay, yeah. What?
She said, you are using your hand.
Oh, I'm using my, I am. You notice that. I'm not using my thumb. I'm resting my thumb. Okay, so the first sentence is what?
I will be.
I will be. Okay. So does that come natural when you say, I will be a native speaker? Okay. I will be a native speaker. Okay. Is that something that, do you think in a conversation, you would be able to create that sentence and make it flow? Okay. I will be. I think this is a pretty easy example, right? Okay. I'll work on this a little more today and try and come up with more difficult examples using the word be. Okay. Yesterday, okay. So yesterday after class, I went with Susan on the boat, the ferry here, and we went on the boat all the way to the end of the line. It's a long, yes, it was a very long boat trip. 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours. 3 hours. Yes. Mhm.
Actually,
The last
1 hour.
1 hour? Well, that was
สนามหลวงจนถึงนนทบุรีวันเอาสนามหลวงการทะเลภูนนทบุรีวันเอาไอ้ช่วยไอ้ที่สิ
how much did I pay?
ได้มีเวลาเดิน
ไม่ด่วนพี่แต่ว่า50 ขอนะ
It was not a lot, because you pay one way. You pay to get on one price, and
ไอ้
then
เคสอันโนเอ็กซ์โร
it was not the express. This was the orange flag that stopped at every pier. Yes. So I thought that it took about 1.5 hours to get there, and then another 1.5 hours to get back. And so by the time I got home, back to my apartment, well, we stopped for lunch. And by the time I got home, it was after 4, about 4:30. Yes. And then I had to exercise. And then I ran out of time to work on the word be. So today, when I leave class, I'm going to go back to the apartment and work on the word be more. Okay.
Thank you.
Be is a simple word.
It is. Mhm. Yeah.
Not important.
You know what? You're absolutely right. It is not that important. Okay? It's not that important.
Simple word.
Yes. Mhm. If you were to express, if you were to say something to me in English and you did not use the word be, it's not going to upset me. It's not, I'm going to know what you're thinking, right? I don't know, how much detail we want to get with grammar, proper grammar. Yesterday we said that I should be teaching some proper grammar, right? I should be teaching some proper grammar. And I thought that we would spend a little bit of time every day on the proper grammar. Whether you use it in a sentence after you leave here, you don't have to, okay? And for me, it's not important, okay? Maybe for you, it's important, okay? Maybe if you took a grammar test here, maybe if you took a test in grammar and you were getting grades, yes, it's important, okay?
No, I mean, you should get some rest after you get on the board. because the B is a simple word.
Yes.
It's not important.
I looked a long time at this word last night, trying to find a
Should get some
rule.
rest.
Yeah.
Next.
Well, I remember I promised you that we would work on this word, so I had to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. It was hot also yesterday on the boat. Susan told me that if you go on the boat, it's not going to be hot. Well, it was very hot. I was in the sun. I was getting more sun.
You have two sides. You should look at the sun. Yeah.
We did look at the sun, and she said, we want to sit on this side. And it was okay for maybe the first 20 minutes, and then the sun moved.
So sorry, I don't know. Yesterday you went to Nonthaburi Province by boat. I can take you to have the river stream. It's very delicious. I know.
Up there? What is it again? The what?
In Bumenang. The restaurant is.
A restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stream, big stream.
Oh.
River stream.
Okay.
River.
Very good, very delicious.
ชื่อร้านอะไร
Real.
ร้านอะไร
I know the restaurant, but I
Okay.
forgot the name.
Well, maybe the next time.
Okay.
But I think the next time, I'm not going to go past. I think once you go past the Grand Palace, after that, there's not much to see. It's all the same after you go real far north. That'd be north, right? But I think, between here and, well, the next stop past the Grand Palace, because you have all the high-rise buildings, very nice things to look at. And much past that, it's all the same. Okay. So I have no need to go right now that I know of. That may change. I may learn that there's something up there that I want to see. I don't know. Okay. So what was our next sentence? Okay. She
will be studying English until fully.
Okay.
Until fully. She will be